instead of using the image as a background, we may want to trace the drawing or trace the image to create line work and use that instead as our guide. To do that, I just want to make sure that my layer is correct. And if I'm using an NCS, typically the V indicates existing. And so I'm just going to change it to a V road curb layer, so it's more appropriate. And I'm going to run the polyline command again. I'm going to zoom in and just pick a point that represents around the curb line, and then pick around where the beginning of the curve is. At the command line, there's an option for arc, halfway, length, and undo. I'm going to do A for arc. And then I can either pick a point where I want to be, or I can type S for second, and that'll give me a second point on the arc. And then I can pick the end point. If I want to continue drawing a line, I can do L for line, and then continue drawing my line. And I can do the same thing for the other side. Do L for line. And so you can have a polyline with multiple lines and arcs. So I'm going to do the same thing for the other side of the roadway. So as I'm drawing, you may notice that there's polar shows up, and I can either have that on or off. To turn it on or off, I can use the little icon, and that's going to be the little circle with the angle on it. If I click on that, that's going to turn polar off. And then now it's no longer using that polar feature. And so that's how you can draw lines and arcs. And maybe I want to draw the center lines as well. And so I could draw the center line, and the line type for the center line is coming from the layer. And then remember, you can always move objects. And so I can use my M leader away from the center line. And maybe move my text. And then you can provide as much detail as you need. I could always turn off the image by going back to the data connect. Planning analysis. I can right click and disconnect. And then once I do that, then the image will update and it'll disappear. If I want to bring it back, I can always go back to Data Connect, select it, and choose Connect. And that'll turn it back on. And so that's how you can draw polylines with arcs and then turn on and off the GIS image.